Liberians are still coming to terms with Exxon's December news. Those most disappointed are those trained to work in the industry, including oil and gas analyst Urias Taylor. Taylor is one of the few Liberians trained in the oil and gas sector, having studied under scholarship of the National Oil Company of Liberia (NOCA) in Italy and worked with Chevron in the United States. But 2 years after returning home to be a leader in Liberia's oil industry, Taylor was laid off by NOCA in 2015. He has been out of job since.
It's been almost 2 years since we left NOCA, and we were hoping that Exxon result would have been successful so that it can reawaken our hunt for a new job, because we're still hoping that we can get a new job once there is oil discovery by any of the companies operating in Liberia water.
Taylor says Exxon's failure to fund hydrocarbons did not come as a surprise to him. Drilling one hole is not enough in a complicated geographical region like the West African coast, he says. He says Ghanaians drilled more than 60 holes before they found oil.
When it comes to making any discovery, we have a 13% chance, 13 to 16% chance of success. So it means that if a company drill, you almost show that they're not going to make any big discovery, because we are in a play that is being posing more challenge for the scientists and people involved in the interpretation of the data.
Taylor says oil is not lost for Liberia. He says the country has big offshore areas which have not been explored and believes if they are explored and put up for lease, more companies could come to Liberia. While oil prices are low, exploration costs are also lower. Exxon's decision to leave its Liberian oil well comes at a time when the Liberian economy is visibly crumbling. The decline of the oil industry is another blow. The industry contributed as much as 20% of the Liberian government's budget 5 years ago when multi-million-dollar exploration deals were struck. But with no known deals and no oil pumping, Liberians will not see a direct impact yet, says leading oil expert Elizabeth Mitchell, speaking by Skype from London.
I think it's unlikely that the immediate effect will be great, in the sense that they were at the early exploration phase of the project, and so although they may have been buying some local food and supplies, they were not generating revenues which would have been going to the government, and there were not very many jobs and much local content.
In the long run, Liberia's failure to find oil will mean the country will not see the revenue that has helped all nations like Ghana and Nigeria weather the economic storm hitting much of Africa. There is some hope. Exxon has not fully abandoned its pursuit for oil in Liberia. Arthur May Holland, the chief executive of Canadian Overseas Petroleum Limited, a partner of ExxonMobil, said in a statement that the company would perform further tests. The lack of hydrocarbons at this location, where our seismic data presented attributes indicative of hydrocarbons, will cause us to do additional work on a 3D seismic over the block and re-evaluate the other leads we have mapped on LB13. But Ms. Michel says that even if Exxon ultimately decides to give up the block, if oil prices recover, it is possible for another builder to come in to take over.
Normally in a license there is a term which says if there is no activity after a certain period of time, the acreage is taken back by the National Oil Company and can be relicensed. So either one of those two things will happen, at which point the acreage can be relicensed. So all is not lost for Liberia, but it is definitely a delay.
For now, there is no help coming from the oil sector to Liberia's troubled economy. This report was produced by Power TV in collaboration with New Narratives and the Thomson Reuters Foundation with funding from Australian Aid. The funder had no say on the story's content. I'm Anthony Stevens reporting.